the weekend. A windy weekend. I have a special guest on today's ride. Always nice to have company. We've got a new shoe solution because my cycling stuff is taking over the place. Not just for shoes, actually. For anything. I'm supposed to have like 2/3 worth of a month's rainfall in one day today.
On straight, no.
Probably not.
No, on straight doesn't fit me.
So the route I have planned is going over the Gower because it's nice and quiet, usually on a Saturday morning. Plus, because we now live in Swansea, literally like a couple of 100 metres from the boundary from Carmarthenshire to Swansea, we have to stay in Swansea now. So this route is over the Gower. It's just 47k, so it should take us less than 2 hours. Beat the rain. And hopefully we'll get, maybe you can film me going up this one climb. Will that be okay? So this one climb that I haven't done in years is right here. You literally like just go up a cliff basically, off the North Gower Road. Some of you will know it if you're local. Just outside of Crofty. I haven't done it like full gas in ages, but I want to do two things today. I want to do like 30-second efforts, and I want to do this climb full gas. So I don't think you want to ride up it though, do you?
Well, you said it was really, really steep and I'd probably have to get off and walk.
Might be today because it's really slippery. So I might not even get up it if it's slippery.
What's the name of the climb?
Doesn't actually have a name. It's one of those lanes that doesn't have a name.
Oh, it's an Laverack shortcut basically. Which basically means it's going to be full of rubbish and leaves and cow poo and...
Probably,
yeah.
These are, if you've never seen these before, these are toe warmers, but they're actually cut from an old pair of overshoes, as you can see from the Rafficon and GLT days. You can do these with an old pair of overshoes if you got them. These are neoprene. You can do it, with an old pair that are starting to wear on the heel, so I cut them in half and turned them into toe warmers. See where that white house is? That's where this climb goes. So where are we, Charles? In the Gower. Basically, if you didn't hear that, Charlie's going to go like halfway up and she's going to film me coming up it. The White House has a driveway, so if you stop in that, I think there's a driveway. So I'll give you the GoPro and I'm going to strip off.
Okay.
And I'll see you like somewhere on the hill.
Change of plan. It's a wee bit steep. I don't know if you guys can see that. Basically, I would have ended up on my ass trying to get into the drive of that White House. So I'm here on a nice, comfortable gradient.
Oh my word, you can't stop.
I just told the vlog that I don't like stopping on steep hills. Yeah.
It was, I like to cycle myself out a little bit because it was so greasy, but it was scaring off the
locals.
I look fresh am. Can't get my breath back. But the that climb's perfect, I think, for like a 1.5 minute test.
Yeah.
So for future reference in the next couple of weeks, we come back and we tried it because we didn't make it to the top. I got maybe 20 seconds away from the top, but I just came to a stop because I was like, power was just going doop, and yeah, I just couldn't push the. We've done a couple of things, like if you show them the down here. So we've put three small spacers. I can't remember the size of them. They look really small. They were on top, put them underneath. So I'm raising the handlebars, and by doing that, I'm creating like more of a space in this area, so my hips are a bit more open, and I'm therefore like standing taller on the bike and using my glutes more. Or at least I think I am. I don't know if I am or not, but that's the first go at like that's my first go at having my handlebars raised, and it's quite a lot to move it, but when I'm not spending a lot of time on the bike and I'm just like out the saddle going for it, for a first attempt it feels like, at least like psychologically, I feel better because I'm more open, but it's hard. It doesn't get any easier when you do these short flat out efforts. I mean, that was flat out, but I don't know what people term flat out. Like, hard is just hard, isn't it? Also, Charlie's the expert. Yesterday I was doing some bodyweight exercises. I'm under instructions, and like, it's not the first time I've done them, but by doing like 1 minute of one exercise, 1 minute of another exercise, it's amazing how fast like I tire when obviously I'm not doing them very often. And we're doing a couple of like dynamic movements that are completely kind of off script and not like really they're not conventional moves, so they're really geared towards what I'd be doing with handlebars on a bike. So my lats today are like really sore, my shoulders are like smoked, and don't you love it when people watch you holding a camera? And like, I just feel when I'm at the saddle, like if I'm fully flat, like fully tense in to obviously pull the handlebar into me when I'm going up the climb, I can feel the fatigue from doing those bodyweight exercises. So I'm going to say that that played a part in today as well. So this is actually the other way up the climb, if you didn't know. The Gower, Gower Peninsula, which I know a lot of people come on holiday to, even as far away as the Kingdom of England. It does have some climbs, the Gower, but they're mainly short and sharp, and you've got a couple of rollers over on the Corman, I mean, but the rest of them are kind of like less than a mile, especially Oxwich down south and Penarth. Is it Penarth? No. Penarth is in Cardiff.
Penarth's Cardiff.
What's it called? Penrice. Penrice is like 300 meters at like 20% or something, so pretty gnarly. Just throwing in a couple of extra 30-second efforts, and it's quite frankly amazing how good I feel over 30 seconds, and like how my power never seems to drop in every 30-second effort. And then I do like 40 seconds or 45 or 50, and I'm like, whoa, this is hard. It's like that barrier, it's like the last, it's just as you're switching kind of energy systems, it's different for everybody. Tell us about the bag you have.
Same bag. Did you get my crotch in that shot?
No, I didn't. Yeah, that's actually the Rosswheel frame bag.
Very useful.
I'm not sure what the capacity is of that one, but I think it's their small frame bag from their road collection. It's very useful. I used it at the total stations for a bit of food and like my gilet and stuff, so it's good for like, Charlie really wants to like extend her riding distance, and like to save pocket space, because it is a little bit uncomfortable when you're carrying so much in your back pocket. You can shove a couple of things in there. And what are you planning over the next month? You signed up for Zwift Academy, didn't you, to try and do some of those workouts? But
I also need to increase my distance, because I'm only doing short distances and time spent in the saddle, because I'm just not used to it.
Okay, well, it's a fairly easy thing to do, isn't it? And especially as like October's not so bad in the UK. Well, in South Wales, October's like, it can be hit or miss. Like we'll have a day like today, but you can easily get in a couple of hours like before the rain comes. But temperature wise, October is like a great month to still be able to do endurance riding. You'll have to excuse the washing behind me. I just got in, and typical of somebody who loves to geek out on his ride rather than like get cleaned up and stuff. Not that I've like got such a sweat on. That's the thing, like with this training I'm doing now, like I'm not actually exerting myself apart from during the intervals, so I don't really like sweat, and hence why I have to wrap up really warm, because apart from doing the effort, I'm just cruising around everywhere doing like 100 watts. So I looked at the effort from the climb straight away, and it was 1 minute and 10 seconds at 10 watts per kilo. So that is, I was not expecting that, to be honest. And the gradient of the climb, so I did 200 meters at 19.7%, and yeah, my average power was 596, so it's like 9.99 whatever for 1 minute 10. But like the interesting thing here is that's the best start I've ever had to an effort that long. Like for the first 40 seconds I did 662 watts, which is 11 watts per kilo for 40 seconds. So obviously I dropped off then after that, but I don't think I dropped off massively. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, the last 30 seconds I did 504 watts, which is 8.4 watts per kilo. So there is a fair drop off. But it's cool to see that already initially I'm already holding a much larger power output from the get-go, which is great.